Welcome to a series of podcasts brought to you by Yale University. This is Kristen Leslie, Yale professor, speaking about pastoral care versus inappropriate religious proselytizing by Christian chaplains at the Air Force Academy.
This is Kristen Leslie. I'm the Associate Professor of Pastoral Care and Counseling at Yale Divinity School. I am a United Methodist clergywoman, and my work is in pastoral care and counseling, pastoral theology. My main research has been working with survivors of sexualized violence and working with faith communities and religious leaders on how to best serve survivors of sexualized violence. My work about 3 years ago took me out to the United States Air Force Academy to work with the chaplains and better equipping them to work with their cadets who had been sexually assaulted. In 2003, the United States Air Force Academy was in a big crisis around sexual assault on their campus, and Donald Rumsfeld and others got involved, Congress got involved, and because of that, they asked me to come out to be a consultant to the chaplains to work with them. For about a year and a half, I worked with the chaplains, doing some training, understanding their environment. Because of the work that I did with the chaplains, they asked me to do some general work with them on general pastoral care for their cadets. That is, their undergraduates, students who are training to be officers in the Air Force, in the United States Air Force. So I bargained with them to take some of my graduate students out. So in the summers of 2004 and 2005, groups of Yale Divinity School students and I went and lived in the midst of basic cadet training, shadowing the chaplains in that environment and helping them think about the work that they do, the cadet-centered care. In the midst of the work that we did, we inadvertently documented a problem which then became a crisis at the Air Force Academy around religious intolerance. What we saw in the context was, under the guise of general care by the chaplains, there was religious proselytizing by Christians going on in a governmental establishment which violates separation of church and state. We inadvertently documented that. The document got out, became known as the Yale document or the Yale report. Media got interested and Congress got interested. We continued to do some education of Congress and tried to get the American people and Congress to understand the difference between, in one sense, what is pastoral care, that is, religious professionals working around religious issues, and what is inappropriate proselytizing. I continue to do that work and continue to do the broader scope of work, and that is what happens when you push a very privatized pastoral counseling work that you typically do in private. What happens when you push that out into the public arena? That's the work that I do now and the work that I will continue to do for a bit.
Kristen Leslie is Associate Professor of Pastoral Care and Counseling at the Yale Divinity School. This was recorded on April 25th, 2007.